The 2026 Road to the Kentucky Derby Series started at Churchill Downs on Saturday. Let's get a recap of the Pocahontas Stakes for the fillies on the Road to the Kentucky Oaks and the winner of the Iroquois Stakes, the start of the road to the 2026 Kentucky Derby. Of course, Saturday at Churchill Downs. The dirt 1 mile for both races, grade 3 races, but more importantly, the 10 points to the winner on the road to the trail. And some of these horses will be key horses coming up in races like the Keeneland Futurity, the Frizette, the Champagne, and other 2-year-old races this fall. The Pocahontas was race number 6, and the Iroquois Stakes was race number 8 on Saturday. The Iroquois Stakes drew a field of 10. And coming into this race, the top 2 finishers of the Ellis Park Juvenile were in this one. Comport had won the Ellis Park Juvenile. Spice Runner was second, and that's kind of how the odds reflected on the board. Comport was a little over even money. Spice Runner floated up to 5-1 on the board. But let's take a look halfway through the race. A little bit of fast fractions, 46 and change, 22 and 3 for the opening quarter. Comport takes the lead from the tiring front runners, and he comes into the stretch with the lead, the winner of the Ellis Park Juvenile. Meanwhile, from behind, just behind the leaders was Spice Runner. He's a son of Gun Runner, trained by Steve Asmussen for Winchell Thoroughbred, the Familiar Silks. And watch the stretch rally. Spice Runner goes out to the center of the track, runs down Comport late, and picks up the win. Of course, Comport kind of raced a little green. Spice Runner was a little bit green. Spice Runner picking up the 10 points on the road to the Kentucky Derby. Let's take a look at the fractions on the race. Again, the opening quarter, Spice Runner ran at an under 23 seconds. Comport with a little bit more speed. Of course, he was the favorite in the race with Tyler Gaffleone, and Jose Ortiz, the jockey on Spice Runner, was able to wait room. He mowed him down late. Vost was third, Nothing Personal was fourth, and Maximus Prime, the maiden, rounding out the top 5 in the Iroquois Stakes. Of course, Spice Runner picks up the 10 points on the road to the Kentucky Derby 2026. Second place in the Ellis Park Juvenile. He wins this race. Comport wins the Ellis Park Juvenile. He runs second in this race. So good race overall, and we'll see where they go next. The Pocahontas Stakes was earlier in the card, race number 6. Again, a nice 7-horse field. Dazzling Dame, R2 Girls, Embrace the Moment, all kind of getting some play. But Taken by the Wind had won at Saratoga. A low buyer, but Irad Ortiz, riding at Churchill Downs now, he retains the mount after winning on it at Saratoga, trained by Ken McPeak. Let's pick it up down the stretch, kind of a free-for-all. 4 horses battling for the lead. Taken by the Wind, more of an inside position. She gets clear, gets to the lead, and really draws off. I thought this was impressive. Taken by the Wind. Ken McPeak's one of those type of trainers. He starts them off slow. They gradually improve their speed figures. So that 59 definitely probably improved here overall in this race. But Taken by the Wind, now 2 for 2, ridden by Irad Ortiz, a winner at Saratoga, and 10 points on the road to the Kentucky Oaks. Of course, Taken by the Wind picks up those 10 points. She looked good striding out late. Looks like she'll stretch out a little bit. Ken McPeak does well in the Pocahontas, and with fillies overall, he's done well. And this one, Taken by the Wind, the sire is a first crop sire, Rock Your World. He's had some nice horses out of a First Samurai mare. A little bit of speed on the broodmare size, but again, a nice bargain purchase price. $20,000. Taken by the Wind now picks up a stakes win at Churchill Downs and picks up 10 points on the road to the Kentucky Oaks. We'll see where Taken by the Wind goes next. Now, Ken McPeak, 5 Pocahontas winners now after winning with Taken by the Wind. He's done well with the fillies overall, and he has done well in recent years on that Kentucky Oaks trail. Now, Taken by the Wind, looking at the fractions in this race. 110 and 3 for 6 furlongs. A little bit slower for that opening quarter, so they kind of picked it up in the middle point of the race. Irad Ortiz riding the winner, taken by the win. Julian Leparoux finishing second. The Axeman, Luan Machado, at 12-1, running third with Jokemaker. But this was kind of a scramble race. They were all bunched until that last 16th when taken by the win. Kind of drew off to the victory after controlling that inside position. Now on Friday we had another maiden special weight race, a good looking one. The winner was Caborg. There was an Into Mischief in here. There was 2-3 horses being bet down, but D'Angelo picking up the win, the trainer, and Caborg the win, and nice win. He's by Munnings. I'm not so sure he's going to want longer distance races, but up to a mile he should be strong. The buyer came back a 69 for Caborg, a little bit of a price on Friday. Then on Saturday we had a filly maiden special weight race, Baraka for the fillies. She picks up the win down the lane, striding out on this one. Kind of an interesting pedigree overall on Baraka, as she looked good in this maiden win, kind of held off all the challengers down the lane, inside and outside. Baraka, $500,000 purchase, but Oscar Performance might be one of the first kitten joys that gotten some turf horses. He's gotten some dirt horses, seems to be getting better mares. His sire fee is going up, and this one, Gaff Leone picking up the win on Baraka, and out of a Wild Again mare, so a little bit of a stout pedigree on the broodmare side, with Oscar Performance, a good versatile stallion on the sire side. He's gotten some dirt runners and some dirt and turf performers. Want to see what Baraka does for trainer Brendan Walsh, who was another one that does well in the Kentucky Stakes races. So Caborg, here's his pedigree. He's by Munnings, out of a Tappet mare for Jose Angelo. Luis Saez rode that one on Friday, and then the winner on Saturday was Baraka. Iroquois Stakes, what did you think of that one? Spice Runner over Comport. Vost and Maximus Prime also running in the top 5. Then we had taken by the win, the 5th winner of the Pocahontas for Ken McPeak, coming off the pace, but I think she definitely improved her buyer speed figure in that second lifetime start on the stretch out at 1 mile. And don't forget, we've got more race previews coming up. We've got our juvenile updates racing you up to the Future Stars Friday every Saturday morning. Make sure to watch that edition this week, where you recap Brandt's win from last week and the Del Mar Few Debutante and Futurity. Then next week we go to Pennsylvania Parks. We've got the Pennsylvania Derby. We've got Goal Oriented, Baeza, and a big field of 10 or 11 horses expected to be drawn for the Pennsylvania Derby. Then for the Cotillion Stakes, a solid field of 8 or 9 going to be there. Of course, they're going to have a 15 race card next Saturday at Parks. We'll preview the Pennsylvania Derby and the Cotillion Stakes from Parks when those fields are drawn. The Road to the Kentucky Derby in Oaks 2026 underway. The winners this week, Spice Runner, taken by the wind. Don't forget to watch more previews, and don't forget, D. Wayne Lucas always said, people have opinions, horses have the facts.